What you are about to witness is a Peni Parker playstyle that can only be truly appreciated and understood if you forget everything you know about tank. And for some tank players, they may want to forget. Hello and welcome to another Marvel Rivals full game breakdown by the coach. In this guide, I'm going to show you how to backline on Peni Parker so well that you'll turn Marvel Rivals into a single-player game. Tired of getting no heals as a tank? You don't need them. Tired of teamfights being decided by support ults? You don't teamfight. Tired of being forced to play around objectives to find value? Fuck 'em. I've created a playstyle that completely eliminates your reliance on teammates and puts the outcome of every game in your hands. And with that, let's go. With a lot of these coach breakdowns, I like to start with an opening monologue to give you guys an idea of what to expect and why I do certain things. But for this particular one, I think my actions are going to speak louder than words. Now, we're going to get right into it. Dropping my mines here to run a little faster. You get a little movement speed boost while you're in the webs. Saving my web jump, obviously, to get right to their backline. Already behind the enemy team now, and we are setting up behind their base on the health back here. Now we got the rocket team up, so we drop another one, and look at this. Immediately, as quick as possible, you want to be dropping your spider mines so they start coming up off a cooldown faster. This is my space now. Your base belonged to me. This is now my part of the map. And we are creating a Star Wars Episode 4 situation where the trash compactor is closing in on them. I'm behind them. My team is pushing up the main way. And really the idea here is to find value by yourself because Peni has passive healing from her webs. And really, what good am I going to do just tanking hits and feeding ult charge to the enemy team? And lo and behold, we already have a healer falling into my webbed trap. As I put the mines down, she walks through, immediately dead. Now, good way to start off the game. I always have my webs to fall back to now. And based off of that initial pick, we actually get a full team wipe. Now, a lot of times it's not that easy, but notice what I do here. Because we know that they have to contest the point if they are going to portal back, I decide to put bombs on the point, but after seeing that they do not portal in time, I immediately push up. Peni on offense is all about tempo. Now, we'll get to the spawn camping, that's going to come a bit later, but Peni is all about tempo because you try to push up as far as you can to get your mines down and set up in a place that essentially create space. So you notice immediately, before I even realize the point is capped, because I had already put the mines down, I know that if they do portal, we'll probably win the fight even if I get there late because we already have setup. But because they don't, I am already ahead of my whole team and ahead of their team too. Because it is so important to take space as Peni, and it's why I think she's so good on offense. Her mobility is one of the most underrated parts about her kit. So we go ahead, immediately setting up bombs here. Black Panther coming from behind, and I zone him off the top. Now, even though this bridge is destructible, I put mines here because I'm really just trying to pressure them off the main walkway here, throwing bombs down here and there when I can, but really just trying to control height with my Squirrel Girl, and we get the kill. Now, fantastic trying to zone me. I use my rocket jump, and again, I am behind the enemy team. We try to continue this stagger for as long as possible. And instead of putting mines where they are, I put them where they're going to be. Now, watch how I bait the enemy team to walk into my trap based off of my aggressive positioning. Okay? So, always stack mines of 4 down, minimum. Save your mines, then use them all in one spot to hide them in your web. You put them in spots where they don't see you putting them down, like behind them. And watch the bait master in action. So playing normally, just shooting them. Now we're winning the fight, so they have to back up. But, oh, they see the trap there. So what do? I fight on top of it, hit the Fantastic with it. He's half. Using my mobility, always fall back to your traps. And Sierra team's kind of winning the fight, so I eventually group up with them. But basically, putting myself in positions here as I connect my traps because I'm trying to keep this stagger going, right? So that if you look here, for most people who play Peni, they already know the tech, but for those of you who don't, my ultimate can connect my mines, right? See how these little spider mines, they're all connected to this. So because I ult here, I actually gain value because of how far up I put my initial mines. A lot of people say Penny's ultimate is worthless, and respectfully, I don't care what rank you are. If you think Penny's ult is bad, you're just not playing her correctly. Penny's ult is very useful as an escape, as a way to pull up your mines, as a way to take space temporarily. Most Pennies don't use it properly. So we're using this to run a full circle. Let's back up here just to show you guys exactly what we're doing here. We are pulling their mines from halfway across the map. Right? As we go down, connect the mines. We are pulling mines that we have put down from halfway across the map all the way into their, this isn't the spawn camping part, but all the way into their spawn already. And look at this. We just run a full circuit. If they chase me, great. We know we're running into a health pack there. Dropping mines as I run back. And look at this. One, I get a straggler. I back up. And now this is my new spot. You see how I transition there? I transition from, we have a defensive position here to now we are pushed up to this point. And these are the mines from left over from my ult. So look what I do here. Look what I do here. Just taking immeasurable amounts of space. And then we start stacking our mines again. I probably should have put it in the choke there, but I know that they're going to try to stop the point. So look what I do. I know we already have an advantage. So why would I go to the point to fight? Why would I do that? Why would I get messed in all this muck? All the support ults being put down. All just the slop. The coin flip team fights. When I could just go somewhere where I could actually find value. Because right here, I'm just a meat shield, right? But back here in these small, tight hallways, right, this is where you find value as Penny. So we try to bait people to our traps. We've tried to find opportunities to get high damage, high value plays early on into the game. So I'm looking for someone to find. Someone ran over the traps and blocking off the chokes preemptively. Listen, I'm not playing to win this fight. I'm playing to win the next fight. But luckily, we do end up winning the fight because of the bombs that I had put down, which I don't even know what killed him. If I'm being honest, I have no idea how I got that kill there. Let's go back and take a look. Let's go back and take a look how I ended up getting that kill before we keep going here. But you're starting to get a feel for the playstyle, right? It's about aggressively setting up past where the enemy team even conceives you could get to because of how mobile Penny is with both her ultimate and also just her webs, which is only a 3-second cooldown. Now let's see how I actually got this kill. So I get the Black Panther here. Okay. And she just ran into my mines which were touching the point there. So that is how we get first point. So I end up getting kind of lucky there. And we continue the stagger. Mind you, this stagger has been happening since my very first kill. I started this game off with getting a kill onto, I think it was their invis, and it has not stopped because of how much tempo I've had with the movement, really. So now we try to bait Thing into our traps. He walks right into it. Bruce Boner on the run. And the stagger continues. Now, I could go back and make the cart move faster. Go back and clean everybody up. But this is just a numbers game at this point, right? If my team loses to this, fantastic. We're going to lose the game anyway. So why would I ever waste any time doing anything other than taking space through my mines and my positioning, right? You have to give a certain level of leeway to your teammates that they're going to finish off kills, win the fights that they're supposed to win when you are basically crippling the enemy team before they even get to the fight. So what do? Set up my webs, stack them, put them down. And again, holding this space. Now, immediately on the move, because there's no point in setting up in a spot where they know you're there. I like to constantly play these guerrilla tactics, constantly moving to spots, keeping the enemy team on their toes. Now, the right call for these people is to just all run and fight on point because my team's there, but I make it so hard for them to do that they would need immaculate communication to even have a chance at getting a fight like that off, especially when I'm so quick with my jumps, which I messed one up there because this part of the map's kind of wonky. Okay, so look where we are. So I actually, I've been learning Peni Parker over a week or so now. I really wanted to perfect this playstyle before I gave you a coach breakdown. This video was a week in the making. This is one place that I haven't actually set up yet, but I would try to put my traps up here, and look what happens. I just could not get it to work. And by now I should be throwing my mines down because I'm sitting on 4. And you never want to be sitting on 4. You always want to try to put them down somewhere. But unfortunately, it's some kind of bug with your nest here that you cannot. I was trying to put it down, I could not do it. So I eventually just give up on it and throw my mines down below. And it's like kind of a coin flip right now with the fight. And look what I do.
You know what to do, Spider.
So this is when we first really start spawn camping. As long as I see one person die, one person, that's all we need, to die on the enemy team, that is enough for me to get value doing this play. So even though I'm leaving my team to essentially what is a 5v6, I know in the long run, because of how respawning works, I will be getting value, more value here, just harassing them at their base, right? So that's what I do. So constantly being ahead of them, right? And slowing down any kind of progression. Now, you could argue that a tank's job is to tank damage so the objective can move forward. Wasn't that what I'm doing right now? I'm tanking damage so the objective can move forward. This is just another way to look at it, right? This is why I say you need to forget everything you know about tank, because Peni is such a unique character, and she is actually one of the highest mobility tanks in the game, that you can do these setup plays so far ahead that she actually takes space better than just about any tank in the game, which again is why she's better on offense. Now, I have my setup here. They have to force me off or they have to walk around, both of which take time. So watch what happens. We have our mine set up. She smartly avoids it, dodges around, and I've had this issue a lot where I will throw my web that's supposed to pull me up and it just doesn't work. Peni is honestly a pretty buggy character. That happens a lot. I think it was just because if it's max range, you won't get pulled up. But I improvise here. I just set up a trap and basically, I basically give up my spider cooldown to get away safely. Now let's look back and see what died there. I believe it was the mines I had set up before. And the guy's just one shot. He's just done. It's just so much you have to worry about. So much. You think you're safe, you pass your mine, you kill my nest here, you see me running away, but it is just overwhelming the amount of pressure you have at any given point. So we run to group with our team because we know we have a numbers advantage. Now, as soon as I see the Luna ult, what do? There's no point, right? No point in putting your mines down when they're just going to get eaten up by the Luna. So I immediately, I don't care. Guys, I could sit here and stat pad, right? Hit the Luna and get 1, 2, 3,000 damage. Or I could focus on doing something that matters, like getting kills. So I say, no. I'm not going to play this game. I'm not going to fight in the muck. That's what I like to call it, the muck of all these idiot supports throwing their ults down, then we throw our ults down, and it's just a coin flip. No, I refuse to play by your rules. I play on my own tempo. So what do? I go off to the side. So I say, if you lose the fight, hey, that's on you. I'm doing my own thing, right? If I'm not the reason we carry this game, then no one will be, okay? That's the mentality I have here. So what do? I immediately disengage, get out of the fight, and I start setting up in a new spot. There's no point in just taking damage here for no reason, so I look for a opportunity to re-engage, and we're setting up our mines here, but kind of a little bit of a misplay with the mines. I probably should be webbing them, but I'm just kind of webbing the steps, and now we just run at them. And there it is. Put it in the choke. It's that easy, guys. First round, that easy. Now, second round is when things really start to get spicy. Now, most of the time when I do these coach breakdowns, I'll usually just start right when the round starts. But Peni is pretty unique because she actually has setup. What you do before the round starts as Peni Parker is very important. And I think most Penis don't do it right. Let me show you what I mean here. Now, this is something that I've kind of labbed and perfected a little bit. Look at this. Throwing my mines where they will be traveling right as I get out of the gate. Now, why do I do this? Well, the time it takes for me to run to point, the mines that I have just thrown here will pretty much be off a cooldown. And, well, let's see where they end up going, right? Because I'm essentially getting a free 4 mines by throwing them right out of the gate. As we follow them.
Fireworks.
And they are landing right on that building. Now, a smart person might say to me, hey, coach, your mines are completely off the field. Even flyers cannot reach this high. They're getting absolutely 0 value. And my response to that is, you are exactly right. I'm still practicing the mine throws. Penny is a extremely complex character, and I just barely missed the angle here. I have actually been practicing this off stream. I just messed it up a little bit here. Where I wanted them to land was down there. I just messed it up. But it's still worth doing, because what you can do after every game is watch the replay and see where they land, and then just make little adjustments. Now, even though these get no value, it is something I think as Penny, you should be doing every game. She's, like I said, it took me a week to even get a coach breakdown I thought was worth sharing with you guys. And even here, you're seeing me make some mistakes. But definitely, as Penny, you should still be doing this every game, hoping you get them in good spots, because you're going to get a guaranteed 4 stack wherever you throw them. So you might as well do it. And all I lose is a little bit of time running to point here. But you'll see, by the time I actually get here, my mines are off cooldown, right? There it is, 3 and 4. And now we set up properly. So essentially, I got those 4 mines up there for free. Now, yeah, they're a waste. I didn't put them in a great spot, but it's something that will just come with hundreds of games as Penny. That is something you're going to want to be doing. I just still need to learn the spots. Now, when I play Penny, I don't like to play a full-on defensive-minded Penny. I think you can fall into this trap of just trying to full turtle, and what will happen is the enemy team will take more damage than your team, and then they'll just overrun you with support ults. So I like to play a more aggressive bait-style Penny, where I kind of play in their face and try to get less obvious cheese kills on my opponent. So I set my bombs up on points where the enemy wouldn't expect, and I put my traps in points that allow me to take an aggressive position here. Now, this won't always work based off the team comp, but the good thing about Penny is she has so much mobility that it doesn't matter. So I try to get my 4 stack because that'll give me the 1 shot, and look what I do here. I set up my second mine right here to kind of bait enemies into fights that they don't want to do. And the beauty, right, is I'll show them, right? It's all about mind games. I'll show them putting a mine down here, so they think maybe this is where I get set up. It almost gives them a false sense of security. I found that the most of the time when I have success as Penny and with getting mine kills, it's when people are chasing after me. So I really try to bait my opponents to chasing after me here. And I'll just throw kind of like random mines here or there. Okay, ha, you got a mine. You're safe now, you're safe now. And then watch, right? And there's the big one, right? There's the big one. Now, it didn't get a kill here, but the fight is already won by us because half their team was chasing after me. And there's the real one that I wanted to get, and it gets us an easy kill. Now, we take out Groot here. So any chance you have to take space as Penny, I suggest doing it. I really don't like the idea that Penny should be sitting back right on the point, because if you can win the fight here, why wouldn't you? The farther up you can push the line of scrimmage on this character, in my eyes, the better. It's really just what is your team willing to do? So I set up mines in spots where it's essentially another hurdle that they have to get past to walk up. Rather than sitting on your mine all game, why not use it to take space and make the game harder? And then putting my mines in really just tough spots here. And we're already getting our ults off. So, now the spawn camping we'll get to a bit later. I missed the stun, couldn't get it in time. They're looking for other ways to get around, taking out the rocket spawn. And look at this. I'm about to die here, so I use Penny ult. Using my Penny ult, again, as a way to get value. backlining, killing the rocket spawn, and then getting back to my team safely, right? So another instance of how to use your Peni ult that isn't just what some Pennies do, just they just take it off their keybinds. I find another way to get value with it here. So using this as an escape now, absorbing pressure, and Storm's gonna ult my team here. No, wait, she solo ults me. That is right, their Storm solo ults me on point. So we end up actually losing the fight. We end up losing the fight here. So this is the downside to the aggressive playstyle. This is the downside to it. So I do the same thing, throw my mines, and you know what, just for fun, let's see where these land. It's just a good habit to get into, and again, it's something that I'm still working on. I haven't fully perfected this, but again, this will kind of show you, give you a better example. So this is kind of more what I was trying to do the first round. And this kind of gives you a better example of what it looks like. Now, will these mines really do anything for me? Honestly, no. But I thought it was worth a shot. So, at this point in the game, I was actually going to touch. But then our Strange calls out he's going to portal. And I think there was a little confusion on our team. So they end up actually getting the first point. So instead of going through the portal, I decide to just go set up somewhere else. Now look what I do here. This is when the game really starts to pick up. I set up an aggressive high ground positioning, and you want to throw your webs in spots where if you land a stun, great, but honestly, focus more on landing your webs in good chokes. Like this would be an example of a choke, right? A better spot would probably be here because they can walk out through their base, right? But this is a choke. This blocks off a pathway for them, forces them to go through this way, right? So my stun on the Groot, or misstun that is, was I always have this in mind when I'm putting down Peni webs. Now look what I do here. Again, throwing a web out, baiting enemies to come and hit me, falling back to my webs, and the card is moving, and I don't like that too much. In the same way that you need to take an aggressive positioning on offense to get behind the team, on defense, you have to get an aggressive positioning to stop them. You can't let them get too far up. And if you feel that that's happening, you feel like you're going to lose your minds, immediately relocate and try again. Now, Iron Man is a known, pretty good pick into Peni, but I relocate and I'm trying to find an angle where I can safely set up. And honestly, they're doing a good job of stopping me. They're doing a really good job of stopping me, and I've been sitting on 4 mines for a while now, which is not a good thing. So, trying to get a way to not necessarily stop the cart, but stop their team, right? And then Luna ult comes through. So we're getting pushed back really hard here. So I try to just pick a spot, set up here, and it is just not happening. So again, I ult to save myself. And yeah, this is not good right now. The enemy team is getting a really good push. And see that Iron Man's trying to hit me with that, so I get out. Using my ult to reposition. And look at that, putting a web down. And this is probably what I should have done a little sooner. Throw mines on the Iron Fist setting up. And using my mobility to constantly find new angles to engage and hold them. Now you'll notice here, as we're going through this fight, I'm going to slowly push my mine line from here all the way up into their spawn, this is when we kind of get to the spawn camping. But it starts by getting a spot where you can kite back to, always. Now, again, when I put that web on the Groot over here, I should have been throwing my mines down sooner. Again, Peni is not an easy character to play. Her skill ceiling is very high. And I'm still trying to perfect her, but I think another thing I see a lot of Pennies don't do is use their melee attacks. So I know Groot's going to go for an ult here, so this is why I get up here, and there it is. So I jump back down because I know it's safe. Just trying to avoid his ult. Save the hella here. And don't want to sit on 4 mines, don't want to sit on 4 mines. So now we set up in the bunker. Okay? Now we set up in the bunker, and we peek out, and then we go to the other side. We're constantly kind of ducking in and out, trying to get little skirmishes. We don't want to ever get like a full-on fight. It's guerrilla tactics, right? We want to just be everywhere at once, constantly poking my head out one way, and then going the other way, right? Just keeping the enemy on their toes, keeping them confused, just getting kills left and right.
This is gonna hurt.
And now we're at the point where I start stacking mines in their base, still have this nest here. And another kill from the mines that I just set up. So see what I mean? Slowly pushing up our mine line here. I see strange portaling. I just stunned the first person I see, and it happened to be the Iron Man. I should have just killed him there. So look at this. Strange pops his ult to effectively go and start a fight here. But I know I had just gotten 2 kills. Right? I know at best they're only going to have 4 people that go through this. So my team has a 5v4. So instead of going all the way back, you know, I have my mine set up here. I have all my webs here. I just fight here. This is when the spawn camping starts, by the way. So that's what I do. I mean, I've already gotten a couple spawn camp kills, but this is when it really picks up. So why would I go and fight in a place not advantageous for me? So I keep the Luna in their base, and look, I just walk away. Make her think she can kill me, and she just walks into it, right? It's just about knowing your limits. So that's kill number 2 onto the Luna. And using my ult now to set up my mines, getting free mines from my ult.
Almost there. Don't turn back
right?
now. Only 60 seconds left.
And again, my team's off fighting over there. I don't really care. I don't really care, because I know they're Luna. We all play Marvel Rivals. We all know, who would you rather have on your team? A healer or a tank? The answer is obvious. It's healer. So I make their healer useless. So that's 2 kills on Luna. And here we go. So this one's my favorite right here. This is my favorite spawn camp kill. So now we connect our mines. And again, I don't really care what's happening over here. I don't really care. So here they come. And Luna learns her lesson and dies again. Now, why did that work, guys? Why did that work? Well, 2 reasons. I want you to see it from Luna's perspective. Okay? Okay, so Luna, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Classy Canine, not going to fall for it again. She's died once here, she's died once here. And she sees the web of death again. Surely she wouldn't die for it a 3rd time. Okay, let's watch this in slow-mo and let's see why this works. And it's gonna blow your mind, guys, with the mind games. Rocket hits my spawner. She's shooting me. But look at what I'm doing this whole time. Not a care in the world. I know my mines are here. I know I want them to run over, but look what I do. Just complete idiot behavior. Just ignoring them. Acting like they're not even there. I know damn well they're right here. But running like I got something better to do. Like there's something more important. And it's a mind game, guys. So she sees me run by. She thinks she's safe. Boom. The 10 mine insta-death. And I get their healer again. So now I am literally on the point that they kept before, and still playing guerrilla tactics. So setting up the traps, get another one. Groot's now at half health. Full guerrilla tactics. And I don't really care what my team's doing. I really don't care what's happening on the enemy, on the other side of the map. I am not going to let them walk out of base. As long as we keep getting kills, I will keep fighting in front of their base. So now this time, I try to set up mines below, thinking that they'd come out from the bottom. But watch what happens. Watch what happens here. Despite 2 people being dead, the Luna goes out the same way again. I have the magic bottled up here. Trying to win the 1v1. I'm kind of missing my stuns, spaghettiing this. And I let everybody get away. And this is probably when I should have realized I needed to go to the next point here. hoping my team would get even just one kill.
Vehicle reached a checkpoint.
They end up capping the
Keep up
point.
momentum.
So I probably went a little too hard here, but it's all right. We use our Penny mobility. I trolled that one a little bit, having a little bit too much fun. But at least we get to see final checkpoint here to see how I play it and where I put the bombs. Now, they only have a minute and a half left. We have our ult coming up. Trying not to stun the Iron Fist, so we just get out this way. Keep stacking mines on the point here. And always trying to get behind our opponents here. Always trying to get behind our opponents. So, again, having an issue with the nest. Finally get it down here at a high position. And, again, throwing 4 mines into chokes. And then immediately going... You always want to go to a spot that's going to corral them into your mines, right? You want to corral them. So I get behind them because I know all my mines. I got one right here. I got 4 set up there, and I got another 3 or 4 set up right there. So I want them to walk up, which is kind of what they want to do anyway. So I make this an easy choice for them. So watch what happens here. They see me there. They turn around, so I immediately just run back up. Just in and out. And then just constantly trying to get them to walk over my mines, which I think the Penny ran over him, takes a big chunk of damage there. And then just finding angles to get to their back line and corral them into where I want them to go. So again, putting my mines in the chokes here. Luna pops her ult just because the pressure is too overwhelming. Strange lands a nice ult, and we take the team to dinner. They fall back into my mines. They have nowhere to run. And really, that's going to be game, guys. I pop ult here just to get to their base quicker, to drop down by mines. They have no chance. And that's game, guys.
2, 3.
So you see how much tempo matters. You see how little I play with my team. Letting them do what they want all game off on their own. I play my own game. And I will say, I think Penny is the best tank to carry as in Marvel Rivals, hands down. Because the only way you can really shut her down is if the enemy team makes a concerted effort to stop you. And you'll see, I don't really show up in stats, do I? Because I'm doing my own thing. But what I'm doing is I'm not requiring any kind of attention from my team. So I'm essentially unlocking my team. I don't suck away resources from my team like a Hulk might, right? Where a Hulk just needs tons of healing. But I don't require any. So look at this. I take less damage than I deal. I take less damage than I deal, and our healers are getting plenty of ult charge still, right? You truly can play her like a solo character. She is truly one of the most unique characters and tanks in the game, and Penny, honestly, has become one of my favorite characters, even though I vowed I would never play this one. So let me know what you think, guys. I was honestly a little flustered when I did this breakdown. Penny, it's hard to get in the mindset, hard to cover. She's very complex, a lot that I can improve on and get better at, but hopefully you see the vision. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to Hulk smash that like button, Hulk smash that subscribe button, leave a comment, let me know what you think. Obviously, I have a lot of room to grow and improve, and let me know if you want to see another Penny breakdown, maybe as I improve and get better. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.